Ohayou gozaimasu. So today we're going to do a little bit of a different video, not similar to anything I ever have done, but it's a video I wanted to make because I feel like I would have liked to have this video for me. So today I'm going to show you how to apply snap buttons. So this is a snap button, if you don't know. It's basically just, two interlocking pieces of metal that hold fabric together, right? That's all it is. And I'm going to show you how to do it today with this little applicator set that you can buy on Amazon or Temu or anything like that. Because when I bought this, it didn't come with instructions. And so that's not very helpful. Because when you look at it, it looks kind of complicated. You don't know what you're doing. There's a bunch of different pieces, a bunch of different sets. But once you figure it out, it's actually pretty simple. So I'm just going to explain it in the simplest way I can. So these are all the things you have. You have your set of pieces, you have your applicator, and you have your fabric, right? Ignore this. We already did this, but we're going to do it again. So when you look at your pieces, there's a bajillion things. It looks complicated, it looks scary, but it's really simple. You have your nipples, the one that goes into the hole, and then you have the hole itself, right? And then these two ends, all they are is the end caps that hold it onto the fabric. That's all that is. It looks complicated. It looks like a bunch of different things. All it is the other piece that is holding this onto the fabric, because without that, it would just be falling off. It's like putting a picture on your wall without any nails. There's nothing holding it up, right? So to make a single snap button, you need 4 pieces. You need one of these nipples. Sorry, I'm trying to do it one-handed and looking through the camera. You need an end, which is just the hole. You need the hole piece. Let me flip that so you can definitely tell what it is. Nipple, hole piece, and then you need 2 of these end caps. It doesn't matter what colors. You just pick whatever. Let's go with turquoise or whatever. And I want to show you something really quickly. Not really related, but important so you don't freak out. There's 2 different kinds of these end pieces, right? You have the, you have the hole ones, and you have the, solid ones, where it's just a solid, a solid piece all the way through. They are exactly the same. They have no practical difference. It's just for looks. So if you have one or the other and you're confused or you're concerned that it's not going to work, they work exactly the same. All you need is those prongs in the end. Like I said, the looks on the front is just for, the certain look you may want for your piece of fabric, right? So yeah, just they don't really matter. Long story short, don't be too caught up in, solids or hollows. So let's get some hollows here. I'm going to use hollows. And obviously the different colors don't matter either. It's just depending on what fabric you want to use or what color you want for your fabric. So when you're setting up, like I said, you just need a nipple, a hole, and 2 prongs, 2 prongy pieces, right? And these go together. These are sets because for each one, each has a backing that goes with it so that it's staying on the fabric. So now we're going to come over here. Let's start off with our nipples, because it's a little kind of more complicated, but not really. Like I said, it's really simple at the end of the day. We're going to attach this. So when you have your pliers, right, they're just weird little things. They have 2 holes on the mouths of the pliers. One is much deeper than the other one, right? And the much deeper one is the one you put the prongs in. So you take the prongs and you face it outwards. You want the prongs to be facing out of the stapler type thing. And you just shove it in there with your thumb, right? Shove it in there. Now this one is a little ratchet because I got it off Temu, so I'm going to have to use 2 hands to put it in. But once I put it in, I'll snap right back in. All right, we got that one in. Like I said, you just snap it in. There's nothing special. Just push it in with the prongs facing outwards. And then when you get to the nipple, you want the nipple itself to be facing inwards towards the pliers. So you're gonna take the nipple, as you can see, and we're just gonna stick it in that way. Hold on, let me regrip it. Nipple, stick it in that way. I'm so sorry, I have one hand. Oh God. Okay, let's switch hands. So you got your pliers, you got your prongs in, nipple, you're gonna be facing downwards with this one. So snap it in so that when you're looking at it, it's flat because the nipple is inside the prongs, right? So prongs sticking out, nipple sticking in, and that's all you need to do to set up that one. So when you come over to your fabric, all you got to do, slip it in there, you know, put it in between, and you're gonna pretend like it's a piece of paper and these are a stapler. Right, so when we're looking at it, we got our pliers all set up with both things inside. You need both. Don't forget you always have to have an end cap, which is that top one. You got your nipple at the bottom, and then you're just gonna come through, put it in like a piece of paper, like I said, and then you're just gonna hold it down. Ready? And then we go. Hold it down. I like to press it down really firmly just to make sure it's interlocked, and I like to hold it down for a couple seconds. Not necessary, but I just do it to be sure. And then when you let go, sometimes you have to yank it out, but now we have a nipple, and then we have an end cap, right? So that's one half. And then also when you're applying these, make sure you're paying attention to what side, because you don't want to accidentally put it on the back and you didn't mean to and now it doesn't fit right. So just pay attention to how you're placing it on there. But either way, now we have our nipple applicated, and it was very simple, right? So now when we put in the hole, it's kind of similar. It's not that much different, but it has slight differences. So the prong is the same exact way. You put it into the deeper hole. You know, you have one that's deep, one that's shallow. You put it into the deeper hole on your pliers. Stick it in there, of course. And then the end, now it's harder to tell on camera than it is in real life, but it's subtle either way. You have two very similar ends to this hole, right? You have this side and you got this side. The only difference is that inner ring that's gray, one side is very rigid and hexagonal in shape, while the other side is smooth and round, right? So the hexagonal shape, you want that, when you're going into your applicator, you want that to be facing inwards, okay? So when you place it in, the side that's hexagonal, that's facing inwards, just like the prong is facing outwards, you would want to flip it and make sure the hexagonal side is facing inwards. The reason you want it facing inwards is because that is, okay, let me flip this. That is the side that actually snaps into the button, right? So if you flip it the backwards, it's never going to connect because that's the side that connects with it if you're placing it properly. So, and the application of this is the same exact way as this one. You just put it in between like a piece of paper and a stapler, and then you just press down. So, taking the fabric, taking the applicator, and I'm gonna pay attention to the orientation of this, because if I did it this way, look at that, the bottom is on the top and the actual hole is at the bottom. It's never gonna connect. So if the nipple's up here, that means the flat end has to be up there as well. And then I'm try to line it up properly. That seems about right. And then you just press down, hold it, hold it, hold it. Make sure you're pressing down firmly so it can actually connect. Then you let go. And now we're done. We have a nice application of our button. As you can see, the two end caps are there, holding it onto the fabric. You want to make sure they're on the same side, of course. If you're doing a traditional just button snap, make sure your ends are on the same side. And now we have a connecting button, right? And then for those who somehow don't know, to connect it, all you gotta do is put them over each other and press down. There we go. And now it connects the fabric in a strong but reusable way. That is why I prefer snap buttons over regular buttons, because it's strong. And even though I have some gripes with this set I got off Temu because the button applicators are very flimsy, the buttons themselves are ridiculously strong, almost too strong, where you have to put a lot of force to separate it. So if you want to put, I like to put these on bags or pockets of my jackets or pants that don't have strong protection, because I do not want things falling out of my pockets. That's usually what I use these for, but you can use them for shirts, purses, jackets, pockets, whatever you want. So there you go. Now you know how to make a snap button, and I hope this was a helpful thing for you. All right, Jot Net.